Rivers Governor Fubara begins war with political godfather Wike. Here is the governor Siminilai Fubara's cancellation of recent recruitments concluded by his predecessor, Chief Nyesom Wike, into Rivers State-owned Ignatius Ajuru University of Education, Port Harcourt. So he has thrown over 1,700 affected staff in disarray, and stakeholders are reacting to it. Fubara's administration, in a statement by the Commissioner for Education, Professor Prince Chinedu Umom, announced the cancellation, citing irregularities and disobedience to directive by management of the varsity. The statement read, "The government of Rivers State has observed with dismay the inconsistencies and irregularities and flagrant disobedience to the directives concerning the just concluded recruitment exercise at the IAUE, Port Harcourt. Therefore, the recent employment exercise conducted by the management of Ignatius Ajuru University of Education, Port Harcourt, is hereby cancelled. All appointment letters issued and received are hereby nullified, and affected persons are directed to return the letters to the office of the registrar of the institution and other employment-related properties such as ID cards in their possessions to the office of the head of service, Rivers State, immediately." Well, NFR George Will, chairman of Rivers Civil Society Organization, said, "For us in the civil society space, we have vindicated to the extent of the irregularities cited by the government. We agree with those who say the process should be reviewed." The incumbent governor merely echoed what we said at the time of the exercise. Rivers people cannot forget we raised red flag promptly over the impunity of nepotism, favoritism, and flawed processes of employment at the time. Interesting. Well, they believe that a committee of competent persons should be empaneled to review the process. So basically, Ignatius taking this move means that he is going into war with his political godfather. Very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, it is a lot, but the cancellation of appointments and the triggering of his godfather, I mean, how does this have to do with Nigerians? Because this is clearly an internal, at this point it's just gossip, right? Obviously, yes, over 1,000, almost 2,000 staff members have been, laid off, which obviously isn't the best thing, but then they are employees. They can fight for their rights, because you don't just dismiss because of disobedience, as in, what are the type of dismissals? What rights do the employees have to claim from the government? That's what the next step should be. But reflecting this as a war between Fubara and his political godfather Wike is just adding fuel to the fire, adding a bit more, a bit more flair and a bit more seriousness to the story, because saying it's a war with the political godfather, I'm like, okay, and it's an internal battle that both parties will have to deal with by themselves anyways. So why are you involving Nigerians saying, so what should Nigerians do about it? That's sort of where I come in. I don't get it. Unless the governor frees himself from Wike's bondage, he will continue to be an unhappy man. Social media propagandists leave it alone. You derive pleasure in punishing people against or pushing people against each other. Fubara softly, your case is in the tribunal. Wike has facts of the matter. I just think that there's so many issues that we could focus on, as in, especially in this case, what we should be thinking is for these individuals that have been laid off, what are their rights as employees, as employed, not just workers part-time, they are workers of the government. What rights do they have? To be laid off with no plan, with survival policy, and then all we can talk about is some war between this individual and his godfather is kind of shameful, because is this just a story? Well, somebody puts it perfectly and calls this a political distraction, which could be all that it is. The governor is correcting the irregularities in employment, but then it's such a vague situation of what happened, because you can't just say disobedience by management is enough reason for you to declare and decide to lay them off, right? It's not in detail, so stakeholders have reacted to this, and then they want a panel to review. It just sounds so long. People, I think, don't forget to like and subscribe.